The main aim of the Impact project is to raise the aspirations and ambitions of the children and young people of Gosport. We're endeavouring to build sustainable links between the schools, the community and the business sector to help give the young people an idea of the bigger picture of opportunities available to them.
I think in hindsight, looking back at the project, after 2.5 years, there have been benefits that we never imagined at the outset. I think one of the pluses has been having the flexibility to pilot new ways in the project, and that certainly has provided a lot of benefit to schools and in the delivery of initiatives that have helped local businesses and the economy.
It's been a very exciting 2.5 years, and we have actually seen some tremendous developments within the schools. Within each school we've done some different projects. For example, with Leesland Junior School, one of the projects was for the whole school to design a calendar.
We'd like to buy a Gosport calendar for £3.50.
We're selling calendars. It's all part of a big project we've been doing at school, at Leesland Junior School. The children have created a calendar. They've taken photos, designed the photos to represent life in Gosport for them. So for our children in Gosport, to raise their aspirations as well, and to give them insight into what happens in the real world. And they're now selling the calendar to send the profits to the RSPCA.
This is a tremendous project because it encompassed so many of the enterprise skills that will help the children through their lives. As I say, this is not just an academic exercise, it's developing their problem-solving skills, their team-working skills, being able to use their own initiative and building up their confidence that will help them obviously through their lessons, through their school life and then hopefully onto their working life as well. One of the other schools that we've been working in has been Brockhurst Junior School. Again, another exciting project that we did was for the whole school to work together, but they mixed the year groups, so different age groups worked with different children they hadn't worked with before. Bit of an innovation really for them, but they really worked well, and they had to design a whole new garden.
This is part of the Education Business Partnerships Impact project in Gosport, and I'm a garden designer. I'm Françoise Murat, and I help the kids implement the garden in a more functional way. So we came here last Saturday with the help of 10 other people, and we built this from 10 till 4:30 in the afternoon. We did some raised beds because the ground here is not very good, and this is much easier for the children to garden when the vegetables and the fruit are actually raised from the ground. I started working with the Education Business Partnership at the beginning of the school year in 2007 with Lynn Wakeford, and I work with the Education Business Partnership for Gosport. It's the Impact project where they ask businesses like myself to come in and to impart on the children, like from this school in Brockhurst, on valuable skills, life skills, such as sharing and socializing and doing projects like this garden design. So I do quite a bit of work with the Education Business Partnership, and we go to Brune Park, for example, and Bridgemary, and do some more work there.
At Bridgemary, I've been working with a group called the Access Students, and they have a separate timetable, and I actually met with a guy from the Hampshire and Isle of Wight Wildlife Trust, and he talked about different people getting involved with volunteering activities, and so we managed to get this group to go for 3 days down into the New Forest to do some volunteer work, cutting down trees, making besom brooms and all sorts, and they absolutely loved it. It took them right out of the sort of life they would normally be in, and they got so involved with teamwork and really getting involved with the physical side of the work as well. They came home at the end of the day really tired, apparently went to bed very early, were very dirty, but thoroughly enjoyed it, and that was a brilliant way of getting them really involved and feeling they were really doing some good for the community.
All of it was just an amazing experience. It was all for the environment, and if it wasn't for Miss Greaves, we wouldn't have ever been able to do it. We've had loads of fun using new tools, but to be very honest, we've got one thing to say. Help the environment!
At Broome Park, we ran an enterprise challenge to design a new garden.
We felt the project gave us an opportunity to try and raise the aspirations and motivation and ambitions really of the young people of Gosport, and in itself it contained many opportunities for rehearsing or going through real life scenarios which in turn would prepare them for the adult world. The project has certainly made a difference to their self-esteem, their whole attitude to work, and this was reflected in the Ofsted report this year. And what we're finding is that those attitudes are being reflected across the whole curriculum. It certainly helped us to develop a new way of teaching and foster a new way of learning amongst pupils. There were three particular examples which we felt spurred this on, which were very real and very tangible for them. The first was the Design a Garden competition, and all that would entail from the design stage right through to the build stage. And of course they couldn't do that without doing research, interviewing people and working as a team. And then particularly working as a team in the building of the garden, then having the grand opening and organising that. That in itself has led us on to a whole new course which is now in its second year at the college, called Working Outdoors, and with the help of the local council and the project we now have 2 allotments very close to the college, and that has developed not just into growing produce but into now devising ways of selling it and then reinvesting those monies back into the project itself. Part of that investment has been the purchase of a polytunnel on the college site, which has enabled students to start seedlings and very young plants before they're planted out in the allotment. So that has been a tremendous success, and you can see the knock-on effect down the line to various other things, and we didn't just stop at the garden project. One of the latest examples I can think of is the Gosport Ferry project, and various teams have competed to design a leaflet mainly about the history of the Gosport and Portsmouth Harbour. The guest speaker to launch the project was the Queen's Harbour Master himself, and the winning team will have their leaflet printed professionally by the Gosport Ferry Company, and it will be then available on the ferry for people to take copies of and to read and give them further information about tourism and the harbour itself. So we're very pleased that that in itself will give the college a profile beyond the school gates and over into Portsmouth as well.